Curious about what it's like to own the new iPhone Air? Well, spend a day with me and see how it feels to actually use an iPhone this thin in the real world, while also seeing how long it'll last throughout the day, how that single camera feels, and much more. So let's get started. All right, y'all, so just hit the studio, but this is it. This is the new iPhone Air. And honestly, I feel like this is one of the best looking iPhones in a while. Like, it's the thinnest iPhone ever. It's got a really good look to it, but to get this beautiful look and this nice feel, you make some compromises. Now, we are gonna talk about what it is to live with those compromises. One of the most obvious is definitely the battery. Because of this thinness, you know that they can't fit a massive battery in here. So Apple says it should last all day. We'll see how that goes. We're gonna see if a regular day, just using the phone, and we'll see how it feels to use this for the day, considering all the sacrifices made to get this body. Now, Apple went as far as creating this little guy, the iPhone Air MagSafe battery, and we're gonna see how long we can last without having to rely on something like this. So Gene, don't even let me have that. You take that, and we'll see, can this last us the day? It's supposed to, but we'll see how it goes. So currently, it is 9:39 a.m., and I've got 82% battery left. I didn't really do that much yet. Let me see my screen on time.
It's gonna be a short video.
Don't say that. Well, I mean, I've been using it all morning. You know, I've got about an hour of screen on time. So 59 minutes of screen on time. Either way, we're at 82%. We'll see how it goes. I actually have a lot of work to do over here. I'm getting together all of the best accessories for the new iPhone lineup. I got my work cut out for me. I'm trying to pick the absolute best ones. And spoiler alert, Ridge, the sponsor of today's video, has some of the best ones. If you don't know Ridge, they make some of the best everyday carry gear. I personally love their key organizer, and I've talked about that in the past, but now they brought that same quality to the new iPhone lineup with some awesome cases. They use a soft TPU bumper with a rigid backplate, so you get both comfort and protection. My favorite though, is definitely the carbon fiber finish. I think every iPhone this year looks good in it. Now, they've also got this MagSafe wallet with the most secure connection I've ever tested. It actually takes effort to pull off, which finally makes me trust a MagSafe wallet, something I've never done before. What? Hold on.
Wait.
Are you kidding? Try to take this thing off.
What?
Gene, come try out this Ridge wallet. You'll probably break it before you actually take it off.
Damn.
Right? That is amazing. I think my favorite out of all of these is definitely the Ridge power bank. It's compact, does wireless charging, and has built-in USB-C and lightning cables, so you can even charge wired too, and with multiple devices at once. So it charges your phone, but it can also charge your Apple Watch, and it has a built-in kickstand, making this thing perfect for like flights or just watching content. And with a 10,000 milliamp hour battery capacity, it'll definitely keep you going. Unlike the Air's MagSafe battery pack, this one works well with all of the new iPhones and even the old ones thanks to that built-in lightning cable. If you guys want to grab the new Ridge iPhone cases and the power bank, definitely hit my custom link here or check down below in the description so you can get 10% off. Honestly, this is like a no-brainer. All right, so good on this. So we're solid. We got a couple of things.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's early. I'm straight. Have faith. Now, after putting together my selection for that upcoming video, I had to eat some breakfast, but still get some work done. And I gotta say, spending time with the phone really lets you take in how awesome this thing feels. It's pretty easy to use it one-handed, it's comfortable, and it just feels new. And honestly, it is refreshing. And that's just how it feels to me while doing the things I normally do, like emailing, typing scripts, and just having it in my hand throughout my day. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of the look and feel, which is absolutely the allure of this phone in the first place. Can I see that with no dialogue?
Why not?
No dialogue. Notes together for my editors. All right, so I finished putting down my notes for the edit. Now, I kind of dig it. We can do that for every battery check. All right, so I just knocked out a script for this video that I'm gonna be shooting in a bit. I just realized I left the glasses that I need for this video at home. So I gotta run back to my place, grab the glasses, and head back over here. I'll take you guys with me. So I drove home around lunchtime to grab the glasses, and usually this is when I stop to eat, watch something, maybe game a little. And if you're like me and you watch content on your phone, the single speaker setup might throw you off. Without stereo sound, shows feel like they're only hitting one ear. And I even tried holding the phone off center so the earpiece was hitting the middle of my face, but that isn't realistic long term. Now for Instagram, TikTok, or vertical games, it feels normal since stereo doesn't matter as much. The trade-off only really shows up when you're watching horizontal videos or even horizontal video games.
Yeah, I'd say so. Those are like the main aspects of gaming that I'm thinking about. So you guys can see like kind of some of the thoughts that we have for back here, but there's a lot of space back there, you know? So there's something you guys think that we could be, you know, take advantage of that long space for. Right now, I have some ideas for like sets and whatnot, but I don't know, if there's a gaming thing I'm not thinking about, let me know. So one thing I want to show you guys, right? This is our console section.
Now, the simple fix would be maybe just using some headphones or AirPods. Sucks to rely on something external to bridge the experience, but those are options. Now, the screen itself is beautiful. So videos look great here if you don't mind the sound or if you're using earbuds. Now the speaker itself isn't bad. It's louder than the earpiece speakers you see on other iPhones to kind of make up for the fact that it's solo, though you won't get the bass you typically hear from dedicated bottom firing speakers. And listening to music is fine here in a pinch if you just kind of want to hear it. Either way that day, I ended up skipping lunch and I got right back to shooting some more videos. All right, so we're setting up for this top-down shot. So check it out, this is a little BTS for you guys. So we've got this table over here with a camera mounted up there, and we have our screen over here. This is the, I believe that's what it's called, the LG Move. And with this, we can see whatever we're shooting. We can change the orientation for when we want to do a wide horizontal video. But yeah, this room actually has a few functions. We can do top downs here. We have a bunch of props. I shoot voiceovers over here onto that computer. I kind of wish I could go ultra wide right now. I'm missing that ultra wide lens because then I can show you more at once. Right now I'm stuck with this and I can zoom in, but I am definitely missing that ultra wide. Either way, this is where we do this. I'm gonna unbox this thing and we'll keep it moving. All right, you guys, I just finished the unboxing for the Legion Go 2. This thing is absolutely massive. I can't wait to get some games on it. But right now, in terms of battery life, we're looking at 74% on the iPhone Air, and it is 11:27. So we still got a lot of day ahead of us, but I'm gonna go load up some games on this first.
You need it?
Nah, not yet. Nah, we're good. We're good for right now, man. All right, so it's actually been a pretty busy day. We've been doing a lot of like video work. I guess that's to be expected. But we've been doing a ton of shooting, a ton of reviewing, edits and everything. But now, what time is it? It's 3:42 and we've got 48% left. We're about to get some good use out of it right now because we're gonna shoot another video. And that's what we've got this whole setup for. Actually, what's the screen on time? All right, so we've been using the phone for 2 hours and 32 minutes, which is weird. I haven't been on this phone that much. Oh, I was writing my notes, scripting and everything. We're gonna just go ahead and put this phone right up here. Now, here's the thing, right? With the Air, you only have the single wide angle lens. Now, it's Apple's 48 megapixel Fusion camera, but we're gonna see if that's limiting for us to create like a short video. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. We're all set up here and I think we should be good to go. All right, Oscar, I mean, you're the cameraman. You gotta get up there, bro.
I'm scared of heights.
No, you're not. Who's that guy? It's Clark Kent. Let me see what that looks like. Can we try cinematic mode? No, there's no cinematic mode here because you need the extra lens for the depth. To be fair, a lot of people aren't. No, not to be fair, because this isn't like it's just the iPhone 17, right? It has the A19 Pro processor in here. So you expect to do pro-like things, but you can't do cinematic mode.
I always use cinematic mode.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I don't use it often, but in a situation like this where I want more depth, I'm definitely missing it. Now, for those of you who might be wondering, like, what's he talking about with cinematic mode? Cinematic mode is basically where you get the extra depth of field, kind of like portrait mode shots where you take photos and you get that blurry background to look all professional. Cinematic mode is the video version of that, and we don't have access to it here because we're only working with a single camera lens. So I ended up pulling off the shot I wanted with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, but I continued using the Air for everything else, and it honestly was getting the job done really well. And this is where things start to get a little confusing with the Air. It has the power to do pro-like things. It's honestly built like a pro model, but you can't really do all of the pro things. And that's not to say you can't get pro performance out of this phone. You definitely can, since it has the A19 Pro, but the truth is you won't be able to keep up that pro level performance for as long as the pro models, because the heat it'll generate due to the thinness will definitely make it turn that power down a bit. Hold on, let me get this. That is unless you're using.
Yeah, you're shooting video, right?
Yeah. Yes. We are, let me stop this. We're set. We're at 37.
Sure.
Put it away, man.
Oscar, you need it? I'm good, thank you.
Put it away. Gosh. All right, you guys. So we wrapped up our video where we talk about like these really insane glasses that do a lot of cool stuff. Either way, we shot the entire video about these glasses with the iPhone Air, and now we're at 14% left, 537. But I will say, it put in some work. That wasn't nothing. We did a lot of shooting with it, and we started to feel the limitations of having the single lens. We'd have to move things around, move ourselves around a little further back than we would have liked, where we would have opted for maybe a different lens for the shot. So yeah, single lens, definitely some limitations, and outside of the workspace, I gotta say, I felt it even more. Now, using the camera for everyday things like taking pictures of my family, shooting a little video here and there, for all of the typical use cases, the camera quality was there. Where you make sacrifices on the camera here is versatility. You don't get that ultra wide angle lens or that telephoto lens, so you don't get the zoom capabilities or the ability to see more of where you are. And you kind of saw the limitations earlier in the video when I wanted to shoot inside of that room. So it's giving up the ability to do things like that. This camera system is not one that I would want to take to a concert or my kid's recital, especially where zoom is important. This camera can zoom in, but after you go past a certain point, the quality is going to start to take a hit. Now, if I gave this phone to my mom or dad, I don't think I'd hear a single complaint about the camera. And in that kind of situation, ignorance is bliss. If you don't feel yourself going for any of the other lenses, the trade-off could be fine. But one thing I do know people like to do naturally is zoom in, and that's when you might start to really feel it. But from a quality perspective, it's more than fine with the photo and video I got out of here, minus losing out on some of the features that I'm personally used to, which was a bit of a bummer. But all right, I think it's time we wrap it up. I gotta head over to a friend's house. Ari and the kids are over there. So I'm gonna go meet up with them. We'll see if the Air lasts before I make it back home, or if I'll have to like bust out this thing. But I will say, Gene's not here right now to offer this to me, so the Air lasted longer than him today. Oh, Gene, where you at? Can't defend yourself. So I did end up meeting up with the rest of my family at my friend's place. Adrian wanted to jump in the car with me on the way back home. And I know you can barely see him here because I'm using the camera from my glasses, but something else you can't see is Gene checking in again to see if I finally use that battery pack. Not Gene writing me, asking if I need it. That's hilarious. We're at 5%, so chances are we do need it. All right, you guys, so we are ending the day at 7:33 with 2% battery left, with about like almost 5 hours of screen on time. Didn't use the phone a ton in the start of the day, but we definitely made up for that with all of that video recording. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the background, but Ari's got the shower running. That means I need to get these boys all cleaned up and ready for bed. You can probably, I know, I'm trying to wrap it up. But yeah, it survived. No need for this guy. But at least this thing is pretty slim. You can take it around with you and not be a burden. Thankfully, I didn't need to use it, but like I said, there are better options out there. This one though happens to be pretty good for the Air, but you know where the real value is. And what you saw in this video is pretty much in line with my experience with the Air. It'll last me throughout the workday, but by the time I get home, I absolutely need to throw it on the charger. For me, if I happen to use it a little bit more than normal, I find myself throwing it on the charger a little bit earlier than I would want to. So it can last you throughout the day as long as you're not like a heavy user who's texting a lot, watching a lot of content, playing a lot of games. If you do anything a lot on the phone, you will find yourself charging more midday than end of day. So for me, this is definitely a fun phone to use and hold. But like I said, there are areas that feel limiting to me, like the cameras. But here's the thing, it might not be the case for everyone. I think I could hand this phone over to my parents or a bunch of friends, and I'd hear no complaints about the camera. So it really boils down to whether or not the sacrifices feel like sacrifices to you. This is undeniably a beautiful and fun phone to hold, but I can't see myself recommending it outside of presenting it as an option to folks who just want to switch it up. The Air itself doesn't do anything exclusive or anything better than the other iPhones, besides maybe getting into your pocket easier. One thing I will say though, it is shocking how durable this phone is. Zach, jerry rigs everything. He did an amazing video with the Air. I'll have it linked down below, but this thing is far more durable than you would think. So even throwing it into your back pocket and sitting on it, not an issue. But here's the thing, in my eyes, this is the phone you buy not because it's the best or offers the best value. You get this if you're looking for fun. I do wonder though how long the novelty will last and if it outweighs what you give up. I feel like this phone is absolutely geared to the most average consumer who might not be savvy or cares enough about all of the extra things that the other phones offer, but at the same time, they get the most premium experience in terms of the build quality while still having some pro power under the hood, all for the sake of longevity. But that's just my opinion. I am curious if any of you went out and picked up the Air. What has your experience been like? Let me know with a comment down below. I'm genuinely interested, and it'll be great for folks who want to pull the trigger but need a little bit more input. Let us know down below, but I'll catch you guys later.